Okay. So this drill is gonna be kind of purposeful of, like you said, like really shrinking the kitchen down to the spots and specific spots that you want to dink. Because like you said, right, anything kind of low or higher that you're popping, it's getting hit, right? So visually, I gotta really train myself to really dial in, but that's also connecting to my physical. So when I see my visual and I'm putting that shot there and I'm realizing, oh, this is all it takes to go there, then you start training your body after repetition to keep on going to that spot, right? So if you're cross-court dinking, right, do you think this is a tight spot to put the ball in right here? It is pretty wide, right? It's a pretty tight spot, right? Yeah. Right, so this is a pretty tight spot to put the ball in. Yeah. But why do I put it here, you think? And not like all the way using this line as also a spot to do?
I'll probably hit it out.
No, because if you hit it short here, what brings it out?
Oh, they do the
yes. So you don't want, just because you're doing angle and halfway, that doesn't mean it's always good. Because angle, you could go hard angle at this half and hit it here and you're like, oh, that's a great dink, and then boom. So you want to train, again, train yourself defaultly to never really, one, dink in front of you right here, right? Because it's gonna be an Ernie, right? Just like when you go straight up. When I say dink straight up, I don't mean dink right in front of this line. I mean just straight up in the box somewhere, like when you reset. So like here, here, here. It doesn't mean you all, when we talk about you don't always have to go back over there, dink in front of you, people will dink right here, like literally in front of them. And then again, that's something as you, like if you get better, people, this is a tackleable ball. You just don't want to, you want to train yourself into ball spots where you don't get stressed, right? You want to get unstressed. So when you're doing this, here, this is a zone. When you're dinking from that one, every ball should be landing in here, okay? So if you're not landing in here, the inconsistencies could range. You're either gonna go too low into the net and you're gonna go too skiddy. If you go too tight to the net on dinks, where's that gonna land? Too far. And that's sometimes too. People are like, my dinks are very close to the net. Why am I getting still attacked? It's not about how close the ball is traveling across the net. It's actually how close the ball is coming down to the ground. So just because the ball is traveling here, look at that path. Someone that's reaching out even longer than me, I can hit that. Someone bigger or taller, they'll hit that. So it's not always about the height of the ball going to the net, it's how shallow you're keeping that ball as it's bouncing into the kitchen, okay? So one right here, that's probably the farthest I can go on this tube right here. So if you keep it there, you're forcing me to kind of let it bounce or reach and maybe pop that up or kind of hit into there, okay? So this one is very shallow dinks, okay? Everything in that box, okay? Okay, here we go. And I'm gonna make it similar so you can dink into that, just like if it's coming to you. All right, so here, okay? Here we go. Okay. Remember, we gotta move, right? Let it settle. Good. Okay, again. Sit. Too hard, right? So what do you think that's going too hard right there? Because you're kind of doing an in-between of two dinks right now. What do you think you're kind of combining in right here? You're kind of combining a short hop and a slice dink in one. So if you're gonna short hop it off the bounce and kind of take it early, you don't want to push as hard. Okay? Now if you're gonna slice motion, then you want to do what we've been doing and either take a step, right? And let that ball kind of bounce and so I can get under it. Or I take a step in this way, right? And I can take it under. But if you're kind of short hopping and then pushing, that's why it's gonna go high. If I'm gonna short hop, I'm just gonna short hop, right? So you gotta decide which one out of that air that you wanna do, because if you're gonna slice, you have to move your feet a little bit faster as the ball's coming over. If you're gonna short hop, it's still the same thing. You have to time the ball when it bounces, but you're not gonna push slice when you short hop. So you can't do both, because that's gonna trigger something in, like you're gonna try to slice but pop up, and then you're gonna be like, why am I popping it up, right? So one, we wanna get to learn the ball from the flight of it, the spin of it, that what we wanna do. So like we've been talked about earlier, when we short hop, it's mostly a top spin dink. because when a topspin dink comes, it comes into you, right? So if you let that bounce, the ball's gonna kick here, and now you're really stressed. It's very hard to get into that spot. I would never try to dink it into that spot if the ball is bouncing here. I'm gonna go to the middle, to a shorter, shallow dink. Because if you try to do that, that's when people get panicky to try to get it all the way back there and then come back to the middle because they're worried about that. So if it's top spinning, I like to short hop because now I can kind of use my paddle as a board to kind of just get that ball to bounce and spin into the ball and just hit, okay? If it's a dead dink, a push dink, or like a backspin dink, then I have a chance to kind of go back a little bit because the ball is going to sit a little. And now I can kind of slice on it. Okay? All right?
Be going back. And
Yes. Take that one step back, either laterally this way so you have time. So there's two works. So you can go back that way, okay? Or if it's here, you kind of step into it and then you go, okay? Okay, here we go. Good. Okay. Oh, sorry. Again. Perfect. Okay, repeat. See if you can repeat that. Okay. Go. Hitting. So when you start doing this last two pop, what do you think is causing that pop up? Kind of like going up and you're hitting it too high at impact. Okay? So remember, when you're dinking and stuff and dropping and things, you like to let the ball settle down a little lower. Because then, one, that gives you enough time sometimes to step back. But see where my contact angle when I'm dinking? I'm dinking here. I'm not dinking up here on the highest point of the ball like I do on my drive. I'm kind of letting it sit down a little so I can kind of get down. Because now I'm starting it at a lower point and I can trust that it's not going to start high. Right? So you kind of let it set, and then you're not rushing to hit it too. You're kind of letting it like, I don't need to rush to hit this. I can let it settle, get my footwork the way I want it to have, and now I can see my stroke, okay? Okay, here we go. Thing comes, perfect. Thing comes, don't rush. There you go, don't rush it. Just because it's bouncing, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to hit it early. Okay? Yeah. And if it's going short, you take the step towards the ball. Good. There you go. Little later, because okay. Let it settle a little bit. Okay.
I kind of feel like I might miss it. That's the problem.
You're not missing those ones, right? All the ones you think you're missing, you're hitting it perfect. Okay? Here we go. Again. To ball, lunge. Good. So a little too strong. So your arm swing is a little too tough, right? A little too fast. Go. Good. Go. Okay? You're kind of lifting up. Okay, remember, when you're, look how small this one is. When you're getting into here, you're very here and you're just doing this. Really small stroke. I want you to try to just barely, even if you hit it to net now. Okay, actually, I want you to focus on the tip of the tape. And I bet you focus here, your ball is gonna go in here. Okay, it's like right now, the target goal is always less than what you normally do, so we have to dial it back, right? Until you can really trust that stroke going and get the consistent, we wanna go shorter in the beginning, right? Right, everything is mostly long, right? Yeah, so we want to go shorter. Okay, again. Okay, again. Oh, it's getting good. Go. Okay. Go. Perfect. Good. So anytime you're stepping back there, right? That's allowing that ball to drop, right? So that's the whole purpose of that step back, is to allow yourself time to kind of let that ball drop into this zone, right? So when you're in that zone, yes, your ball is going to be a little bit more on your back leg, okay? And then as your arm comes through, it should be here, and then there's a little bit of a weight transfer, okay? So don't stay back here too much this way, unless you like it's really like skiddy. I would try to get at least neutral by the time you're hitting the ball. So this is to load it, right? You load, you step back, you're waiting for the ball to drop, and then you come through. Okay?
You're hitting the ball like almost when
Like kind of like in between when my slice thing. Okay? When you're rolling it two hand, you're hitting it a little bit more on your back leg. Okay? Okay, here we go. Good. Take your time. Let the ball drop a little bit more. Okay? Don't rush to hit it. Step back. Good. See the difference of how the height was on that one? It's because it was a lower point of contact. So you're already starting at a lower spot. So now it's not starting high.
But yours is knee height, right?
Huh?
When you take it, it's at your knee.
Yeah, it's around here. Okay? So it's almost like letting your shoulder kind of work. If your shoulder was just dangling from like this position, that's where you're kind of getting it right there. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, it's all right. Go. Settle. Okay, again, you hit it at a high point on that. Okay. Here we go. Settle. Okay. Settle. Okay, too high, let's settle. Okay, again. Here you go. Good, there you go. Good. Okay, you're not swinging as much right now, right?
No.
Yeah, that's it. Good. Okay, come through, good. Neutral through, so as you load, come back to the ball. So as you come here, come through the ball.
It's hard to go forward.
Kind of push off your back leg and go through. Because then you don't have to swing as much arm. Like right now you're kind of like this, and then if you're doing that. Okay? So you kind of want to go through. So now look at my swing. I'm not doing this. I'm going from here to here. Look how from like, it's like this far. Here to here. Here to here. Okay? All right, I'll show, can you toss me a couple? Just so you can see what I mean by just kind of not really using your arms like this. I'm gonna do the first one like yours, where I'm kind of loading, and I'm gonna use just my arms, okay? And see how that ball is like gonna pop, okay? Here, and then you do this, see? Okay, so if you leave this back here and slicing, the face is open, so it's just gonna go up. You're not spinning the ball, so you're not top spinning it. So you're slicing it. So if you leave that open like this, it's gonna go high, okay? So when you load, it's fine to kind of settle yourself, but you have to kind of go forward as you're going into it, okay? All right, here we go. Here, load, forward, okay? Go, load, forward. Okay, so it's very here. I go back and then I'm going forward, okay? As I see the ball, back, forward. Okay, one more, back, forward. Okay, so you load back, that's giving your time the ball to bounce low, and then you use that to go forward. Okay, because you already have an open face. Okay, here we go. Back, there you go. Okay, again, back, good. It's okay, it's a little short, but I like that. I like that. Okay, here we go. Back. Okay, you don't have to, look how much more you're swinging than me. Look at your paddle, right? Your paddle is like here when mine was here.
Right.
Here. Okay? Here we go. Perfect.
Oh, it is?
Go. Okay? You're still kind of pulling a little bit. Okay? Okay, here we go. Drop. Okay, what do you think you did on that one? Too early. Okay, let's settle. Okay, better. That's perfect. Can you do that 100 times in a row?
Sounds good.
It was beautiful. Go. Good. 2 in a row. Here we go. Take your time. 3 in a row. Perfect. Take your time. Let it settle. Okay. You could have let that settle down a little bit, right? Okay. Too early. And I'm kind of pushing these things so it doesn't have too much spin. So you don't have to worry about either kicking in front of you or skipping. So this is so you can kind of get used to that footwork of when you're seeing the ball kind of coming to you, we're getting outside. And it's okay to slide, like if you watch, and all my shoes are messed up in this area because I slide. So it's not like, just because I'm taking this step, it doesn't mean I'm locking this foot in where you're like that, okay? It's just a natural. If I need to, if it's coming, I'm just gonna, I'm not locked in on my right leg, okay? Sometimes I feel like if you're locked in here and you take that step, you're like, you don't, now you're stuck in this kind of spot right here, okay? So sometimes just momentum, it's just gonna slide a little bit as it's gonna come in. So you're not like trying to hold your foot. There's no reason to hold this here, right? It's a placement, but it's just, I'm just, because of just the initial reaction, right? Like if you were to just step and move a little bit without trying to plant that foot, it just slides. It just slides a little bit, right? And that just gives you enough time, enough space where you don't need to like step another one. It's just, you're just slide a little bit because maybe the ball came a little bit farther. But if you were to do this, see how different I am? Now I'm like locked in here because now I'm gonna swing with my arms. So as just natural one, I'm kind of, as I see the ball, I kind of go just a little bit, right? So you don't need to have that foot slide. Just don't have it, you don't need to have it locked in here where you need to keep this foot here. Okay. So kind of just naturally let it go, okay? All right, here we go. Good, very good. There you go, it's okay. Now you're getting used to it though, okay? Because you're not letting that anchor your foot. So now take your time, good, okay? Good. Nice, there you go. Okay, let it drop, lowest point, perfect. Let it drop, lowest point, perfect. Let it drop, lowest point. Oh, beautiful. Do you feel the difference?
Yeah, but my foot isn't sliding still.
It's okay, it doesn't have to slide, okay? I'm just saying it helps when you don't feel like you have to keep this leg here. So if your foot moves, don't feel like, oh, sure, I gotta keep it down. You know, that's what I mean. Like, it's okay to just naturally, like, I don't think about it. I'm not thinking, oh, slide my foot. I'm just not thinking about keeping my foot there to like hold my position here. You know, if I need to move it, if it moves a little bit as I'm going to the left, then it's just gonna slide, okay? Perfect, perfect. These are really good dinks. If you get used to putting dinks here, this is that, you can't get any better than that. Okay, these dinks that have spin and low to the net but still getting here, that's the quality of a good dink. If you can keep the ball low here, spinny, and landing here, that's the 3 out of 3. Okay, I can put the ball high here and land it here, but then it's gonna bounce high. It doesn't matter if you put it here, right? Just like if I drop into the kitchen back there, just because I drop the ball high, teardrop into the here, it's gonna bounce high and I'm gonna hit it. But if you can get the ball to kind of teardrop with spin here and it settles down, that's different, right? Okay? Here we go. Okay, so I adjust, it landed here. Okay, that's not a bad dink, right? But it's not where we are here, right? This is where you want that, because what happens in the game when that happens? Okay, even though it's low, I can still flick that. It might not be a power, it might not be a slam, but I can start an action shot with that, right? Okay. Good. Good, perfect.
I feel like I'm still not moving forward.
It's okay. Okay, you rush down. Perfect. Perfect. I like that thing. Has a lot of spin too. Go. Good. Go. Let it drop. That's all right. Here we go again. Woo! Ooh, it's getting spinny. Go. Okay, it's all right. Go. Down. What you didn't even hit down. You're just like that. Right? See, still, even though you're going back, I'm not telling you to not abbreviate this. It's just, it has to be natural kind of pushing motion, right? So if your body's going here, you don't want to be here and go just that. You see the difference? I'm doing this instead of this. Okay? So just a little bit more, so you have a little bit more fluidity in your stroke, helps timing, right? Okay? Good. Take a step out. Let it drag, okay? Could you have waited a little bit on that one?
Probably.
Yeah, I think you could. There, and that's because you wait on down, hit a lower spot, the results is a lot lower. Good.
It's hard to wait.
Yeah, because everyone wants to hit it fast, right? But fast shots cause pop-ups, okay? When you rush a shot, just because you gotta hit it fast, you're gonna most likely pop it up. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's good, that's getting good. You're getting really, really delicate with it. Here we go. Soft, back up, perfect. Soft, back up, perfect. Soft, come in, okay? But see, some of these ones, would you step back on the ones that are coming angle here? Or should you step either that way or step towards it, okay? Okay, here we go. Good, perfect. Oh, sorry. Let it drop. Good. Perfect. 3 more. Okay, here we go. Let it drop. Nice. Let it drop. Good. Let it drop. What do you think on that one? That wasn't a bad one, right? So you're not always, just because you hit it short into the net or I did something wrong, that was actually great footwork. It was just a little light, right?
I'm confused with when I should go in.
So when,
All those I took back.
yeah, which most likely, right? I'd go in on the ones that I need to go towards the ball, right? Like if you feel like you can get to the ball without stepping towards the ball, because the ball is coming into you, you're not stepping towards the ball, right? When you're stepping back, it's because the ball is coming into you, right? So a lot of times in this angle, I'm stepping back this way, right? So if it goes that way, am I stepping back here? No, because I gotta step towards, right? So it's easy for me to step towards the ball and hit here. And a lot of times when I see that angle anyway, if I've been dinking this, and the reason why they're going there is because I'm dinking well in this angle. As soon as I see that, that's more kind of a short hop anyway. You know what I mean?
So that's like 25% of the court you would go this way.
Yeah, I would go this way, and I wouldn't push a dink there. I would just kind of short hop it. Okay? All right?